And on this exclusive coverage of the plane crash from Malawi, the plane that was carrying Malawian Vice President Chilima with other 9 officials is yet to be located on day 2. And according to reports from Malawi, the radius where they're suspecting the plane is located is a 10-kilometer radius. That is the specific area where the plane lost radar. It's not inhabited and it's just mountainous. So that is why they've had a challenge of even combing through to locate the plane. So yesterday night, the Malawian President Chakwera issued a press briefing telling the nation, telling the world about the status of that search mission. And in that, made an address, he said that 200 military officers had been dispatched and the police to try to locate the plane. More than 20 hours after the plane carrying Malawian Vice President went missing, suspicion continues to boil, and different multiple reports from Malawi, even some from the military ranks, are leaking that probably all the occupants of the ill-fated plane are dead. That is what is yet to be confirmed by the officials. Remember, that cannot be made public unless and until they locate specifically where the plane is. So yesterday night, Chakwera ordered, or rather asked the United Nations of America, UK and other African countries to offer support towards the search mission. And we can now exclusively confirm that the US, through its envoy there, they have offered military aircraft to help in search and rescue plan of the plane carrying Malawi's vice president. Since it has been now 24 hours since Saulu Chilima and 9 others disappeared from the radar, the President Lazarus Chakwera says he still hopes that probably can find survivors. But that is just for the public consumption. That is just what they want the public to hear. But the information has it out there that the occupants of that plane probably are all dead. I want us to listen to Malawian President Lazarus Chakwera when he offered a status report on the progress of that search mission.
From Lilongwe to Mzuzu this morning. Although I stand before you with a heart too heavy for words, and though I know that you are all filled with more anxiety than words can soothe, I humbly beg your pardon and ask you to allow me to tell you what we know so far. At 7:05 a.m. this morning, a Malawi Defense Force aircraft number MAF-TO3 left Mzuzu Airfield and landed at Kamuzu International Airport at 7:48 a.m. to carry the Honorable Vice President to Mzuzu to attend the funeral of former Attorney General and Minister of Justice, late Honorable Ralph Kasambala. Then at 9:17 a.m., the aircraft departed Kamuzu International Airport with the Vice President and 9 other individuals on board, including Mr. Lucas Kapeni, Mr. Chisomo Maneni, Ms. Gloria Mtukule, Ms. Chanil Zimbiri, Mr. Dan Kanyemba, Mr. Abdul Apken, as well as Colonel Sambalopa, Major Selemani, and Major Aydin, who were the MDF officers operating the aircraft. However, upon arrival in Mzuzu, the pilot was unable to land the plane due to poor visibility occasioned by bad weather. And aviation authorities advised the aircraft to return to Lilongwe. But the authorities soon lost contact with the aircraft. The MDF commander contacted me immediately, and I ordered him to effect a search and rescue operation and to give me a report within 4 hours. That report was given to me at 3 p.m., and by that time, it had been established using signals from telecommunication towers in the area that the plane was located somewhere within a 10-kilometer radius of Reply, which has since become the area of focus for the MDF search and rescue operation. I know that some media outlets have reported that the search and rescue operations has been suspended, but this is false. MDF soldiers are still on the ground carrying out the search, and I have given strict orders that the operation should continue until the plane is found. I have also directed the MDF officials who are overseeing the operation to give you, everyone, regular updates on how the operation is going so that you can all be informed about the progress of establishing what happened to our loved ones, our colleagues, and our fellow compatriots who were on board that flight. I know that this is a heartbreaking situation. I know that we are all frightened and concerned. I too am concerned. But I want to assure you that I am sparing no available resource to find that plane. And I am holding on to every fiber of hope that we will find survivors. We have already contacted our neighboring countries, as well as development partners, including the U.S. government, the British government, the Norwegian government, and the Israeli government, who have all offered support in different forms, including the use of specialized technologies that will enhance our capacity to find the plane sooner. And I am most grateful for this support. Until I address you again, I ask you to use the MDF updates as an official source of information so that you are not misled by hearsay. And more than anything, I ask you to pray for those who are on board and for their families. But come what may, I assure you that God is with us and will see us through this dark tunnel, especially if we stick together and help each other.
So ladies and gentlemen, I am following this, and I told you that we've had a problem. I've seen people rallying trolls in social media about the Malawi, saying, of course, not trolls, but rather trying to really compare on that. But the vice president, there is an election that was supposed to happen in Malawi next year. So different axes are going to be drawn on this matter. And secondly, you'll also appreciate the fact that this crash happened at, it all involved a military aircraft. And of course, then that means that the VP was actually using a military aircraft. Unlike in the country Kenya, where we are having a debate about that. But what is of more interest to me is the response of the African countries. The response of the African countries to this Malawian crisis is a bit underwhelming, to say the least. And even though Malawi has a cooperation with, I think, with Tanzania, and recently during the flood crisis in Tanzania, there were some aircrafts that, some rescue plan, cooperation plan, where the two countries on how they could support the situation. So despite of Lazarus Chakwera asking Africa to come out and support, I have not seen any response, not even from my country, Kenya. Probably It borders a matter of diplomacy. It borders so many things. The diplomatic standing of the Malawi government, and also ability and the capacity of the continent to handle such crisis. We are going to follow here from this video, because I know I'm waiting to look at how they're going to take in terms of investigation. Will they be open to investigation? The president had said that it's due to bad weather, and that is why the plane crashed. That is what preliminary finding, that is what they have established. But they will not want to run a lot of information around that, except when they have full details of the crash. But then we are following here. Make sure you subscribe to The Bold, because you get exclusive coverage of what's happening in Malawi.